Hi guys, it's Belle. I'm popping on to do a flip through of my completed July and August Pinkoddbird journal prompts. So I'm actually on to my third book. I finished this one that I made. I'll link all those videos down below using a signature from another book. And I'm on to a third one. I've just got them tied together at the moment. So let's get started. So July's prompts started in this journal and end up in that journal. And let's get this open. So there's the little J for July. I put a little letter on the end of each page. Here's my opening page. And some papers and bits I had on my desk, and here's July's, and we'll just get started straight away. So the first prompt was, what do you hear right now? Use words, pictures, etc. to depict it in your journal. Well, I've started rewatching Nashville. I never did finish the series. I think I saw the first few episodes of season 6 but never completed it. Can't remember why now, but I love this. I have to just say, and no offense to anyone out there, I am not a huge country music fan. It's not my genre of music. It's not the kind of style I normally like, but I love Nashville. And this was on in the background while I was doing these prompts. And I particularly love these two when they sing together. And one of the songs that was on when I was doing this was Fade Into You, that they sing. Their songs are probably my favourite in the whole show. So I just printed out some pictures, wrote out some of the lyrics and put some music paper behind it. Prompt 2. So I approached this slightly differently. It says, kindness begins with a smile. Use any art paper medium to put a smile on your page. I approached it differently. I want to put things on here that always make me smile. So I have put pictures of my family, of my kids, my partner, because looking at pictures, one of my sons with a filter on, looking at pictures of my family always makes me smile. I just put the word smile down there. So I approached it differently. I didn't use craft things. I used photos. Prompt 3 was, how can you exhibit a random act of kindness to a stranger, and list 3 ways of doing so? So again, quite a simple spread. Just use some hand-dyed paper of mine, put RAK for rack, random act of kindness. And so the first one was send someone an unexpected happy mail or letter, especially putting how much they appreciated, donate to a local food bank, or buy a few extra pieces when out shopping and put them in donation boxes. I volunteered for almost 2 years, I think it was, for a food bank. I helped with the collections and putting the boxes together for people and stuff. And especially now with everything that's been going on, food banks are under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of people who rely on them. So this is something that, even though I no longer volunteer for them, I still like to. A lot of the big shops in our area have donation bins where you can put a bit of food, and it's something I like to do as often as possible. And the third one is just smile and say hi to as many people as possible. I don't think enough people smile at each other. We're so often wrapped up in what we do during the day that we forget to just smile. You never know whose day it's going to brighten. So prompt 4 was, go out of your way to find something good that warms your heart, makes you proud for humanity. So obviously there's lots in the news at the moment that's overwhelming, depressing, sad, painful, and so on. So I found this story. It is about a primary school teacher named Zane Powles who works in Grimsby, and he works in the part of the school that has the more challenging children. Having worked in schools like that, in that kind of department, I know how rewarding and difficult that job is. Anyway, what he did for 17 weeks during lockdown over here in the UK is that he would get up at 7 a.m. every morning and he would put together 85 lunches for his students, and he would then spend 2 hours walking 7.5 miles to drop these lunches off at all his students, because he just wanted to make sure they were okay, being taken care of, that, you know, that they had food, because obviously, especially at the beginning of COVID, people were stockpiling and things and it was difficult. It also says he would sometimes leave some homework. That wasn't as welcomed as the food was. Again, having worked with a lot of students, I can understand that. But yeah, he did this. He did not miss a day for 17 weeks. And I just think that's amazing that he did that. So no funding, you know, it was his choice to do this. And well, yeah, brilliant. That was something good. So that was the end of that journal. And then we come on to this journal, which again was made by the woman who made my first journal. And this is all cat themed. And I've had it sitting on my bookcase for quite a while. So I'm really glad I'm getting to use up not just some of my stash, but some of my journal. And I didn't want to do anything on this front page because I love that cat. It reminds me of one of mine. And we're still in July. And the prompt 5 for July was: use pen, paint, paper, etc. to make a series of intertwined circles that represent unity. So again, I approached this my way. So I die cut loads of circles out of scrap card that I had. I layered some, I left some, and then what I did was I actually stitched completely, you know, put one through, then another, so that you can see, so that they kind of moved. And then I put them on here and just put unity down here, just to show how what one person does, even if we don't think it does, can have an effect on so many other people. And that really, as a society, not only should we be more united and think about others more, but we should think about how our actions have consequences on others. It's probably in my mind a lot because with one of my children having health issues and people not following rules as much as possible with social distancing as they probably should. Unfortunately, my son is still basically in lockdown because it's very difficult for us to have him to have a life outside because other people aren't thinking about how their actions can affect others. Anyway, not going to rant about that. Anyway, yeah, so I really like that. Used up some scraps and unity. So prompt 6, I was so excited when I saw this, April, was: we can spread joy all year round. Decorate your page for Christmas in July. Well, I love Christmas. Other than Halloween, it's my happiest time of the year. So, and we do a bit of a Christmas in July theme. So I got to play with Christmas, and I used some, I love Anna Griffin's, more traditional Christmas papers and embellishments. I have quite a lot of them to use up. So I just pulled those out and did a very traditional green, red and gold, which is unusual for me to go quite as traditional. And I used up some of the scraps. Got holly because holly's one of my favourite things. Put a little Tim Holtz charm on there that says festive. This is Anna Griffith. This is Anna Griffith. All the paper. This isn't. Got this in Happy Mail. I'm not sure from where the person got it. Bit of a doily. And then this little cat with the Christmas hat actually came in this journal as one of the pieces of ephemera. So obviously I had to add that to the page. And then this was an interesting prompt. So prompt 7, we are halfway through this wild year. Use half your page to depict the prior 6 months and the other half for what you hope the next 6 months will look like. And again, I did this my way, interpreted it. So first 6 months, we haven't just had COVID. Let's not forget the possible threat of World War III at the start of the year. Let's not forget the fires that went on in Australia that devastated not only people and their homes, but the wildlife there and just how much of that got destroyed. We've had, you know, the murder of George Floyd and the protests that have come from that. And obviously we've had COVID, we've had things like stockpiling, the amount of empty shelves. You know, I wanted to kind of portray all that on this page. So I have images of all those different things, lots of different words: distance, COVID-19, poison, stockpile, justice, toxic, fear. And I think the word that kind of sums up the first 6 months of the year for me is death. There's been a lot of death in one way or another. And then I put a picture of me wearing a mask, because that's our new normal. And this mask was made for me by my lovely friend, Sarah. So thank you so much. It was sent to me and made for me. And we were meant to put images of what we want the rest of the year to look like. But to be honest, I couldn't find images to portray what I want my world to specifically look like. So I just put a little card in here with a little torch, lady with torch, you know, light, and then put look on the bright side and wrote on the back, and just some of the things, because I'm not going to say all of them because they're personal. It's just I want, you know, things to be healthier. I want things to return to normal, people to have a bit more financial stability, things like that. Anyway, so that's how I depicted it, even though that wasn't quite what the prompt asked for. And then we are on to August. So I kept this because this was in the book and I just love it. And I put memories and dreams and my little prompts in there. So the first prompt was find something new to learn about today and what is it you learned. So I learned about the Skellig Islands off County Kerry. I am Irish, living in England at the moment. I've got a diary this year that's specifically an Irish diary, and each month has a bit about a part of Ireland or a religious, by religious I mean kind of pagan landmark place. And this was about the Skellig Islands, so I just wrote about them. If you don't know about them, there's 2 islands. Skellig comes from a Gaelic word, because I'm learning Irish Gaelic too, which basically means splinter of rock, and they're about an hour almost by boat off the coast of Kerry in Ireland, and they're one of the most westerly spots in Europe. And one of the islands is completely inhospitable and can't be lived on at all, and is sort of a wildlife sanctuary kind of place. It's where a lot of seabirds and seals and things live, which is brilliant. The other island, the crazy monks in the 6th century, I believe it was, they decided to found a monastery on this mountain island on a ledge by the peak, on the second peak. And I mean, it's about 200 meters high, and there's about 640 steps to get up this very steep incline where these monks were. And yeah, they lived there. They lived off seabirds and fish and grew some veg and stuff. And basically by the 12th century the climate had become so inhospitable they couldn't live there anymore. Anyway, this is a World Heritage Site place now, designated, and it's also where 4 different ley lines intersect as well, so really like spiritually important. You can visit it. You can only go in summer. It takes about an hour to get there. They're only allowed so many people on the island, and you're only allowed to stay a certain amount of time. What may interest more of you is that this is where some scenes were filmed for, I believe it was The Last Jedi and Force Awakens. So the scenes where Luke is with, I think it's Rey, on that island where she sees Luke Skywalker and those cute little penguin things. That's where they were filmed. So there you go. A bit of history, a bit of geography, and a bit of fun movie fact. That is what I learnt about on the... I'm not even going to bother with that. It's so tiny, that mini clip. There's my little A for August. So there we go. Yeah. And prompt 2. If the previous half of the year was a movie, what would its title be? So I went with The Year the Earth Grew Silent. It has 2 meanings. The year the earth grew because thankfully with people indoors, the earth got to recover a little bit from the pollution that so often is an issue. Skies cleared up, rivers cleared up. Apparently the lakes and rivers around Venice, which is beautiful. I've been there. Were actually clear for once, which is amazing. And so much gardens became overgrown, and the year the earth grew. But the year the earth grew silent because there was no noise, no cars. There was barely even children in gardens in my area. There was just no noise. And to be honest, other than birds or bees, other than wildlife, that's all the noise there was. And I actually really liked it. And I used some stickers and a die cut I've got to just, say Hollywood, because it's to do in movies. Prompt 3, what is one of your favourite words? I really like old words and words that are weird. So I like all sorts of weird words like panickety and, I don't know, I can't even think, malarkey, things like that. But the word I picked was befuddled. Confused, puzzled, deeply perplexed, bewildered, lost, mixed up. Talking about silent, it's really ironic because right now next door is singing and playing lots of music, so I apologise if you can hear that. Anyway, no more silence. Far too much noise now that people are out and about again. And I used a wax seal that I'd got in some Happy Mail and made it look a bit like a old scroll. So that's what I went with. So prompt 4, what is a new skill or something you've learnt by yourself during quarantine? So I had this envelope, made it into kind of a tuck spot envelope, and again just put something in there and wrote on the back some of the things I've learnt about myself. I won't go into all of it because again it's private, but one of the things I did learn, we had a week-long COVID games marathon in my home, where for a week we played games every single day, lots of different games, and at the end prizes were awarded. We held a little award ceremony and everything, because I've got 3 teenagers in the house. We all like to play games, and we were all home. So anyway, I found out I'm way more competitive than I thought I was. I never thought of myself as competitive, but I got very competitive during that whole thing, so that was a bit surprising to me. So I moved a few prompts, and this is actually prompt 7. What is a food that you really enjoy making that is homemade from scratch? Well, I love making soup. We try and eat seasonally in our home, and come winter, autumn and winter, I make soup every single Monday. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, my sort of more personal Instagram, will know it's #SoupMonday come autumn and winter. And I love making soup. Firstly, you use up all the seasonal veg. There's loads of pumpkins around. I love cooking with pumpkins. And secondly, it is just really hearty, and it's just really warming in the cold weather. It's comfort food. It's healthy because it's made from scratch. And just the process of making it, I find it's almost like meditation. So that is something I love making from scratch. So we'll go back now. Prompt 5, sorry, I just knocked the camera. Prompt 5 was decoupage, paper and napkins onto today's spread. So I got a bit playful. I've got tons of napkins, and lots of them I've received in Happy Mail, and I don't really use them a lot, like this unicorn one. I love this unicorn napkin, but I'm not really going to use it in a journal or something like that. So I got to bring it out and put it in here because I love it, and I love this fox. So did that, and then I had these flowers, so I sort of got those out of napkins, and then I just went to town getting playful. I put flowers in the unicorn's hair, put some like little beads in the flowers, used some words I had that says create and enjoy today, because basically after thinking too much and everything else, I kind of wanted a really playful, almost childlike spread. I really like how it's turned out, and it kind of makes me think of how spring and summer are now moving into autumn with the fox. So yeah, it was a bit playful, and it worked out great. I really like it. And so the last prompt was for day 6, or prompt 6, because I moved the soup one. What was your last crafty purchase, and is it something you've used yet? Well, I've had a bit of a crafty splurge the last few weeks. Firstly, I brought, because I wrote in here, so I've painted the back, and then I've actually used the stencil that I brought, which is the Card Flowers small stencil by Dark Room, which I haven't used except on here. I used that there. And then I'd also brought these 2 stamps, which I love, which are by Creative Studio. I haven't used them in a project yet, but I wanted to put them in here so I remembered what they look like. I brought some Cosmic Opal Blaze Polish, which I haven't worked with before, and I hope you can see there's the green one. I think this is Gilded Avocado, and I can't actually remember what this one is. I think it's a blackberry. Hold on, I've got it right next to me. Trust me to get the Gilded Avocado one. Oh, here it is. Sunset Orange. So that's on there. It's meant to change colours. I'm not seeing that very well, so I'm not sure about it yet. Maybe I'm just not using it right. So I brought those. Haven't used... oh, no, I did. I used one of those on the circle prompt, this one, but I haven't used the Gilded Avocado yet. And I got some Tim Holtz Little Christmas Mini Ephemera. Haven't used that yet, but put it on there. I also got some Tim Holtz Christmas tokens, which I haven't used yet. I didn't want to put them on here because, you know, they're only limited and want to hoard them a little bit before my Christmas projects. And also I bought finally some alcohol inks, and I have used those because I've been rusting and playing with paper clips and things to put in projects. So yeah, I also bought some Halloween stamps, but they haven't arrived yet, so they're not on here. But they are the prompts for August and July. I had a lot of fun with these, April, as I am doing with all the prompts you bring every single month. I love the way that they can both be playful, and that they, you know, there's some that really make you think and some that are very personal. So anyway, I will link all the other videos to my previous flip throughs of these prompts, and I can't believe we're already near September. In fact, it won't be long before September's prompts come out. And hopefully, as this has 2 signatures in it, I will be able to fit all the rest of the prompts in here. If not, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I do have another journal, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this flip through. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know which of my spreads or responses you thought were quite good. Yeah, let me know in the description below, in the comments below, if the previous 6 months of this year were a movie title, what would it be? Because I'm really interested to hear what others are, because I had lots of different ideas, and yeah, I'd really love to hear what everyone else's are. Even if you're not doing the prompts, I'd love to hear what you would title the first 6 months if you made it a movie. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day and are safe and well wherever you are, and I will be back again soon. Bye.